Hi, this is Ishan from Rev Sports, and welcome to the morning show. I have Gagi, Rajaraman, and S. Kanan joining us for the show here. Thank you all so much for joining. We're going to get started up with the build up to that big fifth test match. Raja, I'm going to ask you first. First of all, do you see Devdutt Patigal making his debut in that fifth test match?
I don't see that happening. I think Patidar deserves another chance. We should not be judging a cricketer on the basis of just a couple of test matches.
Yes.
I know a lot of people have dissed him already, but he's got the talent, he's got the ability, he's got the skills. And I think Rahul Dravid and Rohit Sharma should continue to back him and not make changes in the side. Obviously, there will be one bowling change with Bumrah coming back. I don't see too many other changes happening. India will want to pick up those points for the ICC ranking. It's already sitting pretty high. I think they will want those extra points with another victory.
Fair enough, fair enough. Karan, do you think India should do anything differently this time around or just stick to the same basics that they followed?
I think don't do anything. You don't need to experiment. You've gone in with probably the weakest side. When I mean weakest on paper, that some of your best players are not there. You had injuries and everything. But one big factor, there is a massive weather difference and factors are going to change. People
Yeah.
are already talking about this going to be Dharamsala going to be like England the first part of the summer. When we've seen in the old days people wearing two layers of white sweaters. So maybe
Mhm.
you will see that you won't see just these t-shirts and from Hyderabad to Vizag to Rajkot and Ranchi, it's going to be very, very different. In fact, today morning's temperature around 6 degrees and
Yeah.
prediction for 7th is 67% rain. So you have to factor all that. I think everyone's going to be clothed well. And I think in terms of skill, there is nothing, but there's going to be a big change, in that sense. And as Raja said, that play to your strength, you don't need to experiment. I mean, we are not going to imagine that the ball is going to swing or seam or something like that. You play to your strength. I mean, even if you have just Bumrah back, any kind of wicket, any kind of condition, he can make an impact. Obviously, going to be tricky how we are going to drop the last match sensation from Bengal, right? And then you
Yeah.
go with your three spinners, and I think that's it. I don't think you need to do too much. We won the series, so just drive the last nail into the coffin.
That's true. Gagi, Jadeja has been one of the key factors to this Indian side and who has contributed to the victory in this test match and then in the series. So, your thoughts on Jadeja and the impact that he has on the game?
Yes, absolutely. Jadeja's come out as one of the best all-rounders in this series because Jadeja, of course, we always knew had a lot of potential, but the side that he's shown this time is completely different to what we've seen before. And those the way that he contributed with not just the ball but also the bat, it shows how
Yes.
much responsibility he's taken on and how much intent he's going in with every time he's going into bat or bowl. So it's been very, very incredible to see Jadeja come out as this dynamic all-rounder that we've been missing for a while now. But with Jadeja coming on, uh, it's been incredible to watch, really.
I completely agree with you. And we at Rev Sports have made a special package for Jadeja. So, have a look.
With the Test series already in the bag, India will confidently take the field in the fifth and final Test against England at the Himachal Pradesh cricket ground in Dharamshala. The host nation will look forward to make the scoreline 4-1 after taking an unassailable 3-1 lead in Ranchi. All eyes will be on Ravindra Jadeja, who is closing on to a massive milestone in the longest format of the game. Jadeja has taken 292 Test wickets and needs 8 more to become the first Indian left-arm spinner to reach 300 wicket mark in Test cricket. He will also become the third left-arm spinner to achieve this landmark after Rangana Herath from Sri Lanka and Daniel Vittori from New Zealand. Furthermore, Jadeja needs just 5 wickets to go past Derek Underwood of England and become the third highest wicket taker by a left-arm spinner in Test cricket history. Moreover, if he takes 9 wickets in this match in Dharamshala, he will overtake Kapil Dev to become the fourth highest wicket taker in home conditions. Jadeja currently has 211 wickets and Kapil Dev is standing at 219. Ravindra Jadeja dismissed England skipper Ben Stokes to become the fifth Indian bowler to take 200 test wickets in India. He got to the milestone in the fourth over after lunch on the third day of the third test in Rajkot when he had Stokes caught by Jasprit Bumrah at long on. Recently, Jadeja became the third Indian all-rounder and the 17th overall to complete the double of 3,000 runs and 200 wickets in Test cricket. The left-armer has been in fine form in the ongoing 5 Test series against England, with him being the joint highest wicket taker with 17 dismissals to his name. Furthermore, Jadeja also has 217 runs to his name at an average of 43, with his contributions with the bat helping India push for a series win against England. The all-rounder has a huge role as India secured a massive win against England in this 5 Test series, but will look to take it to 4-1 in this last and final test in Dharamshala. Is Ravindra Jadeja the greatest all-rounder India has ever produced? Do let us know in the comment section below.
Just a special player and a superstar personality, I feel. Let's talk about Ranji Trophy as well a bit. I think it's important that we give some sort of importance to that as well. Shardul Thakur for the Mumbai team performed really well, got that 100 and got his side back into the game. Raja, your thoughts on Shardul Thakur? Another good all-rounder. Unfortunately, not in the Indian side at the moment, but he got those 2 wickets in the first innings as well and that 100.
I think the 100 was very critical. Mumbai was not really on top of the game. Tamil Nadu was fighting back, but his 100 and that partnership will make the difference to how Mumbai ends up in this game. Very, very, very good player, but I think he had his chances in Test cricket, and unfortunately, he's had to go and play Ranji Trophy. But he's
Yes.
delivering there for his side, and that counts for a lot. I think when senior cricketers go back and demonstrate how they want to give back to their juniors in the Ranji Trophy side, it makes a big deal of a difference. But I noticed there is you sitting from Mumbai and Gargi, who's got Vidarbha connections, both fantastic sides, both doing well. Unfortunately, Madhya Pradesh seems to have got its nose ahead against Vidarbha.
Yes.
Yeah.
Karan, why don't you... That's true. Karan, why don't you take that and speak a little bit about the second semi-final that's taking place between
I think the entire focus is on the first semi-final, but I think both semi-finals are important. Obviously, who is going to win these 2 matches are going to play the final. I mean, actually, if you look at it on paper, there's not much to choose between Vidarbha and Madhya Pradesh, but I think Raja has already given a hint of who's doing well. But yeah, I think it's an important match. I mean, looking at it as from a macro view of Ranji Trophy, there's been so much chatter about it that some of the players did not make themselves available. Or we're talking specifically about Shreyas and Ishan Kishan. So Ranji Trophy is very important, and I think definitely Bombay and this thing Tamil Nadu big match. Got the superstars there, and I think we've not mentioned about the young bowler Sai Kishore. I think that was also very, very impressive, because you were looking at Ranji Trophy as a feeder line to pick players for the future in Indian cricket, whatever be the format, red ball or in white ball. You're getting enough pointers, and it was interesting to note that this is Shardul's maiden first class 100.
Yes.
Really impressive. But I think the expert on the second semi-final is Gargi, so I will hand it over to her.
Gargi, do you want to say something about...
I mean, of course, having played for Vidarbha, I want the team to do well. And I was looking forward to watching a few of the batters, especially, Akshay Wadkar. He's someone that I've grown up. We used to play in the same club, so I used to look up to him a lot. Not just me, a lot of players, because he's this very humble and very nice person outside of the field, but on the field he's just as ruthless with the bat and behind the stumps as well. Unfortunately, he couldn't get off. He only scored 1 run in the first innings, and you saw that there was this horrible crumble from the Vidarbha batting lineup that you did not expect, because at the moment you have a few good players, few good batters in the Vidarbha team. Karun Nair is also playing for Vidarbha. He's been brought in, and he's been doing well. Of course, he was the sole scorer in the first innings with a 63-run score, but then at the end of the day, Madhya Pradesh is playing better cricket at the moment. Let's see if
Yeah.
Vidarbha right now is trailing by 69 runs, if they can get ahead of Madhya Pradesh, which would need a lot of good knocks from
Yeah.
anyone that is coming after this, because Vidarbha has already lost Atharva Taide and he's a great player. But let's see what happens with Vidarbha. But I think Madhya Pradesh is playing better cricket at the moment.
Yes, I think it still hangs in the balance, so there's a lot to look out for. Raja, a final question regarding the Ranji Trophy. Ajinkya Rahane has not been in the best of forms. It's a little bit worrying because he's been such a prominent figure in Indian cricket. Do you have anything to say about that?
Ishan, for me, a cricketer is what he has done over a period of time. It's not his last season. It's not the last game that he's played. I think the contribution of Ajinkya Rahane to Indian cricket and to Mumbai cricket can never be undermined. I think he's been a stellar cricketer, somebody who's worked silently, has never complained about not being included in a side or in one side or the other. I think he's been a terrific ambassador for the game, perhaps the last of them, because we find a lot of youngsters who are spending a lot of time on social media talking about how they perform. I think it's when you look at Ajinkya Rahane, you know you're looking at someone really special. I don't think
Yes.
anybody can ever forget what he did with that Indian side all those years ago in Australia, where the leading cricketers were all missing in action, and he led a young side to a series victory, especially after India was bowled out for 36 in that first test match.
That's true. That's so true. It's time to move on to our conclave that we've been building up for so long. S. Kanan, it's a huge event for all of us. Who are you most excited to see speaking?
See, now it's an embarrassment of choices, like everyone is a superstar there. The saddest part is I'm not there for personal reasons, but I'm going to follow every second, every minute on YouTube or in all the platforms, which is also available to all the lovers of sport. And I think there could have been no better person to, I mean, people talk of a kickoff in football, but I'm talking of a kickstart or a shuttle start straight from Gopi Chand today in Calcutta. He's going to hold a press conference. Mazumdar has to be ready for the roof to come down. There's going to be a massive crowd because there's still a few days for the test match to begin, and Gopi is big, and more so after the recent Asian Badminton Team Championship. We've seen he's a fantastic mentor. He speaks, he does not hold his words back. He talked about, politicians should not be heading a sports federation, and that's quite a strong statement because the BAI is headed by a politician. So I think this kind of plain speak is honest. You've got one more champion. I call him champion because he's the first Olympic gold medalist, Abhinav Bindra. Each time he speaks, I feel like I'm learning something new.
Yeah.
A few days ago, Raja had met him in New Delhi, and there was something which I did not know about. I thought I knew everything about him, about his jawline, how he changed, to get his shooting range intact. So each one will come up with well, how do you leave out the true Kolkatan in Kolkata? That is Leander Paes, born in Calcutta. His dad played hockey for India. His mother played for India. Basketball, Jennifer Pace.
Yes.
So you've got everyone there. I think, people use the word Kumbh Mela. This is the Kumbh Mela, Mahamela of sports, and that it is being hosted by Rev Sports and in Calcutta. It's going to be a delight. I think as much as chatter and buzz will be inside, fans, the kind of promotion which has been done in terms of hoarding and social media promotion, it has been beautiful. We are promoting sport, we are promoting champions in an Olympic year, and we are celebrating our most special para champions, and including the coaches. They are going to be there. I think outside cops will also have to be there. They're going to be busy controlling, because it's not just about Eden Gardens facing, big crowd or the Salt Lake for football. I think even here you'll have a lot of people. Young fans are going to line up. They're going to get a chance to get an autograph, perhaps. So this March 7 and 8, and then that special show on women being there, Sania Mirza being there, Mary Kom being there. I mean, I don't want to leave out any name, but if I take all the names, then the showtime will run out. I have to let Gargi speak and others speak. But it's
So
over.
that's fine.
It's like going to an Asian Games or Olympics only.
Absolutely. Raja, I noticed that you had a smile on your face all throughout. So I'm sure even you want to speak about this. So I really want to know who are you most excited to see?
I was smiling, Ishan, because it's a very unfair question to ask. You can't have Chapan Bhog and say, pick up your favorite dish. It's not going to happen, right? So you can try
Yeah.
the hardest you want. But I think each one of them will have plenty to say. From a young Isha Singh, 19 years old, to the oldest in the group, maybe it's Leander Pace there. When you look at a diverse range, you want to listen to everybody. You want to hear them, and I'm sure that each of them will offer great insights, and we will be able to come up with something that rest of India and the whole sports ecosystem will be able to learn from. This is not just a series of conversations people are having and then forgetting. This is going to be productive, and hopefully this will lead to some change in Indian sport. And
Yeah.
I think that is how we can be catalysts, and that is what I'm looking forward to. Looking at how we follow the right processes, leading to the right outcome.
So true, so true. I think all of us can aspire to do the same thing. Gagi, you're the final person here, so why don't you take the stage and tell us who you most excited are?
Like Raja said, there's just so many people to hear from at this conclave, but especially I'm looking forward to hearing from so much wisdom to collect over here. So many people to learn from. Neeraj Chopra is going to be there, but I am especially looking forward to hearing from Sania Mirza, because she is, to my generation, the girls from my generation, we've grown up looking up to her, because she was this one female sports person at the time that was just huge. She had this huge aura. She was taking on the world, and I think at that time when I was growing up, she was one of the very 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 few women in India who had made a big name in sports, apart from Saina Nehwal and the rest.
Yes.
But Sania Mirza's just been this household name for all of us, and any sports person, female sports person in India has looked up to her at one point or the other. So it's going
Yes.
to be incredible to see, her coming in front of us and talking about her wisdom, sharing her wisdom. So I'm looking forward to
It's going to
hearing
be really
Sania.
incredible, and I think all of us.
Ishan, not for nothing is it called Trailblazers, right? Each one of them
Yes.
was a trailblazer.
Yes. I think all of us are really looking forward to it, and it's going to be a lot of fun with a lot of learnings for all of us. So I'm eager to see each one of you all as well out there, and let's hope for the best. On that note, this wraps up our morning session, our morning live. We have a special package made on the Trailblazers Conclave, so have a look and enjoy.
All of us deal with pressure in different ways. How did you deal with pressure?
Badly. Because I'm a human being and I don't like pressure. And I didn't deal with it well. But I learned to coexist with it. I learned to find a way to work myself in those situations. But did I enjoy it? Did I enjoy pressure? No, definitely not. That was not for me. I was in a sport which was kind of a lonely pursuit. Shooting is very individual, and at least in my era in the mid-90s, early 2000s, it was not the way it is developed as of today. I had a lonely sort of a career, but my constant companion in these 20-odd years in sport was self-doubt. So self-doubt and pressure, not a good combination. But I found ways to deal with it. I think one of the biggest things that really helped me deal with pressure was accepting it. I think that is very important. I think when we go to an Olympic Games or when we have pressure as human beings, and especially human beings like me who don't take pressure well, we resist it because it's uncomfortable. It's not something we like. But the moment I started accepting it and learning to coexist with it, it became a little bit easier. And I could at least start focusing on the process of what I had to actually do to execute my skills. So
Athletes, how do you manage so many successful athletes as a coach?
I think, as Abhinav has said it, I think you learn to coexist with the differences. I think one of the bigger things, I think, for me, maybe the last 15 years of coaching, right from 2004 when I started to maybe 2017, 18 were a different ball game. And the last few years have been very different. Today, there's a lot more media attention, there's a lot more social media, there's a lot more people involved in the sport, whether it's sponsors, managers, NGOs, federations, sometimes judiciary, politicians. There's too many people involved. So at the moment I get up in the morning, I say, I've done what I have to do over the years. I get up in the morning, do the best of what you can do, just stay happy, and then push in the things which you can push, and forget about the things which you cannot change. And I think that has been something which has been clearly the case. As far as shutting off is concerned, I've figured out a lot of ways of shutting off, so I don't let things which bother me surface up too many times. So I think that's one way of keeping the ecosystem a bit sane.
Okay. How do you deal with the end of pressure?
बहुत खुशी हुई कि बैक टू बैक मैंने मेडल लिया है इंडिया के लिए। बस जो भी मैंने आज तक मेडल जीता है कॉमनवेल्थ गेम्स में, ओलंपिक में, वर्ल्ड चैम्पियनशिप में, ये पूरा भारतवर्ष ने मेरे लिए इतना प्रे किया है, प्यार दिया है, तो मुझे लगता है उनकी वजह से मैं मेडल जीती हूँ। तो मैं आगे की भी मैं आप सबका आशीर्वाद चाहती हूँ। पूरा मेरे तरफ से कोशिश रहूँगी। और प्रेशर तो होते ही है, ये हर प्लेयर्स के ऊपर होते हैं प्रेशर में से हमको सीखने को मिलते हैं कि मैं आगे के लिए और भी अच्छा करूँगी।
ओके।
मुझे लगता है कि फैमिली का सपोर्ट रहता है सबसे पहले, क्योंकि मुझे तो बिल्कुल पता नहीं था जेवलिन के बारे में। जब मैं स्टार्टिंग में स्टेडियम में गया तो जस्ट फिटनेस के लिए गए थे। उसके बाद धीरे धीरे 1-2 साल लगे कि अपने आप को उस लेवल तक पहुंचाने में। और फिर जो एक हमारे पास एक लिमिटेड कॉम्पिटिशन होते थे, हमारे पास जूनियर के कॉम्पिटिशन होते थे और इंटर डिस्ट्रिक्ट था उस टाइम पे, तो वो बहुत ही एक अच्छी शुरुआत है कि हर एक डिस्ट्रिक्ट से टैलेंट छट जाता है, क्योंकि काफ़ी सारे एथलीट्स आते हैं इंटर डिस्ट्रिक्ट में खेलने और हजारों की तादाद में वहाँ पे एथलीट्स होते हैं और उनको एक अच्छा प्लेटफॉर्म मिलता है कंपटीशन करने के लिए। तो 2012 में मैं खेला था और हरिद्वार में हुई थी तब, तो बहुत ही अच्छी शुरुआत थी। वहाँ पे मैं खेला था, वहाँ पे मैंने गोल्ड जीता था। डिस्टेंस भले ही काफ़ी कम था, लेकिन एक वो गोल्ड था जो एक बूस्ट था मेरे लिए कि भाई मैंने नेशनल में गोल्ड जीता है। और आगे जाके क्योंकि वो काफ़ी अच्छा एक फेडरेशन ने कंपटीशन चलाया है और मैं तो वही है सर, आशा करता हूँ कि ऐसे ऐसे कंपटीशन और ज़्यादा हों। और मुझे